Let me tell you a story about a winter so cold it felt like your bones might crack, and a neighborhood feud that ended up turning the whole place upside down.
Let's reassign the eastern sector to
If
Team
you'd
B.
told me a few years back that my biggest battle as a small business owner in Duluth, Minnesota, would be with the president of my own HOA, I'd have laughed you right off my porch. But you can't make this stuff up. Picture it.
This is unbelievable.
February morning,
I can't
snow
believe
coming
it.
down
They're
in
all
thick,
white
heavy
trucks. This
and
is
there's my brand new
ridiculous.
Chevy Silverado in the driveway, plow attachment glinting under the porch light. I'm on a tight schedule, 45 minutes to get across town before the city turns into one big snowdrift. I'm watching through the kitchen window, mug of coffee in hand, when I see Brenda Whitmore, HOA president, local menace, and in her mind the last line of defense against neighborhood decline, snapping photos of my truck like she's gathering evidence for a murder trial. You've never met a person so dedicated to the cause of HOA justice. Brenda was standing there, arms crossed, SUV blocking my drive coat, probably worth more than my mortgage payment. Lips pursed in a way that made you feel like you'd already lost the argument. I yanked on my boots and crunched outside, snow already piling up. The wind cut through everything but Brenda. She looked perfectly unbothered. "Can I help you with something, Brenda?" I managed, keeping my tone neutral even as I felt that slow burn rising in my chest. She didn't waste time. "Nathan Irving, I've documented 17 violations of the Pinewood Heights Community Association covenants regarding your commercial vehicle. Section 12, paragraph 4. This monstrosity cannot be parked in a residential driveway overnight." I could see my breath hanging in the air between us. "Brenda, we've been over this. That truck is registered to my company." "Sure, but it's my personal vehicle. I use it for work in the winter, regular truck the rest of the year. There's nothing in the bylaws about not being able to park your own truck in your own driveway." She cut me off, voice climbing to that glass-breaking pitch. "It's got a commercial snowplow on it. That makes it a commercial vehicle, and I've already called a tow truck. They'll be here within the hour. You'll also be fined $500 per day until you comply." She handed me a manila envelope, official notice apparently. My mind raced. "Brenda, you can't just tow my truck without legal proceedings. That's theft, and I'll have you arrested." She actually laughed, a cold sound that matched the morning. "The HOA has every right. We have to maintain property values. Your business is dragging us down. Mrs. Patterson says her home appraisal dropped 15 grand because of your truck." I couldn't help it, I laughed. "Brenda, the entire Duluth market's been soft for 2 years. That has nothing to do with my truck. And I run my business out of an office downtown. The only thing I do here is park my truck overnight." She crossed her arms, gaze unyielding. "The tow truck will be here soon. You should remove your personal items." That was it for me. I whipped out my phone and called Marcus Fitzgerald, my attorney, the same guy who helped set up my LLC. It was early, but I needed backup. Marcus answered groggy but sharp once he heard the story. "Don't let them tow it. Tell them you have legal counsel coming, and any attempt to remove your property will lead to criminal charges and a lawsuit. I'll be there in 20. I turned to Brenda. "My attorney is on his way. If you or anyone else touches my truck, I'll press charges and sue both you and the HOA. Her face barely changed. "Empty threats. The HOA has insurance for this." Moments later, the tow truck rolled up, yellow lights flashing. Driver climbs out, grease-stained jacket, looking like he's seen it all. "You the one who called about a commercial vehicle?" Brenda nods, pointing at my truck like it's radioactive. I put myself between him and my Silverado. "You're not towing anything. This is my personal property." He hesitated. "Look, buddy, I just do what I'm told. Lady called in a commercial vehicle." I shook my head. "She has no legal authority. That's my truck. I own the house." Brenda started dialing. "I'm calling the police to report you for obstruction. You're preventing the HOA from enforcing covenants." "Please do," I said, feeling steadier now. The tow driver held up his hands. "I don't get paid enough for this. If there's a dispute, I can't touch it. Lady, call me when you have paperwork." He left. Brenda looked like she'd combust. Just then Marcus pulled up, stepping out of his car in a suit that probably cost more than my monthly income. "Miss Whitmore?" He greeted her, offering a handshake she ignored. He went right into it, explaining that the bylaws had no prohibition on parking a personal vehicle, even if it had a plow. He cited the company registration, downtown address, the whole 9 yards. Brenda tried to argue the plow made it commercial. Marcus countered, "Plows are common in Minnesota. It's no different than a trailer hitch." Brenda's jaw set like concrete. "We'll take legal action." "Be my guest," Marcus said, "but be aware frivolous lawsuits can result in heavy penalties." She stormed off, and Marcus gave me the look. She won't give up. Be ready. He drafted a formal letter to the board that afternoon. For a couple days, it seemed like maybe things would cool down. But then I came home to orange cones blocking my drive, a hand-painted no commercial vehicles sign in my lawn, and Brenda watching me through her curtains. The next morning, there's a boot on my truck, yellow tag property of Pinewood Heights HOA. That was the last straw. I called Marcus at 6 in the morning, told him they'd booted my truck. He was furious. Don't touch the boot. I'm calling the police right now and filing for a restraining order. True to his word, Officer Chen from Duluth PD showed up in half an hour, cut the boot, tagged it as evidence, and told me to press charges. He warned me these HOA situations, they can get ugly. People get obsessed, he said. Don't let it escalate. But escalate it did. 2 days later, I got a certified letter from the HOA, $15,000 assessment for road damage from my truck. Marcus practically laughed when I called him. That's not legal. Do not pay. I'll handle it. We pushed forward filing for a restraining order. The weekend before the hearing, a blizzard hit. I worked through it 40 hours straight, almost only to come home and find my lawn and the lawns of neighbors who'd supported me torn up by tire tracks. My neighbor, Mr. Patterson, had security footage. Next morning, Detective Williams called clear video of Brenda's white Lexus driving across our properties at midnight. In court, Marcus laid out our case: the harassment, the illegal boot, the bogus fine, and now the vandalism. The HOA's lawyer tried to argue I was running a business from home, but the judge saw right through it. She read the bylaws, looked at the evidence, and didn't mince words. She granted the restraining order, ordered the assessment rescinded, and warned the board, violate this and you'll be held in contempt. Then out of nowhere, the judge turned to the HOA's lawyer. Are you aware your client is under investigation for vandalism? Brenda had been arrested that morning, caught on tape. That courtroom was so quiet you could hear the snow outside. Brenda was removed as HOA president, the assessment rescinded, and the interim president, Harold Chen, actually apologized for everything. But Brenda didn't stop. Mailbox smashed, her lurking late at night, still towing the line. The final straw came in March. I got a call she'd hired someone to tow my truck. I raced home to find half the neighborhood outside Brenda screaming, some poor mover backing away fast. Police showed up, arrested her for violating the restraining order and assault when she swung at Detective Williams. The jury didn't take long, guilty on all counts. Brenda got 90 days in jail, probation, fines, and restitution. Afterward, things started changing. The board clarified the bylaws. If you own the truck, you can park it. My business grew. Strangely, I got new clients, folks who respected someone willing to stand up for what's right. 6 months later, Brenda's daughter showed up on my doorstep to apologize. She said her mother had been unraveling since her father died. Being HOA president gave her a sense of control. She was getting help now, trying to put things right. I appreciated the honesty. A while after that, I found a note on my door from Brenda herself. She'd done her time, moved away, said she was sorry. I didn't know how to feel, mostly just relieved it was over. Looking back, I realize how fast a simple argument can explode when people refuse to listen to the law, to reason, or even just to each other. The moral of the story: sometimes you've got to stand firm and let the law protect you. But it's also a reminder that folks have private struggles we may never know. Brenda tried to control everything because her life felt out of control. That doesn't excuse what she did, but it does explain it at least a little. Today, Irving Snow Services is thriving. I still park my Silverado in the driveway every night, plow attachment gleaming, no one saying a word. The HOA is run by people who care about actual problems, not picking fights. Brenda. Last I heard, she was living with her sister in Wisconsin, working quietly, rebuilding her life. And every time I see that truck in my driveway, I remember justice can take its sweet time, but it usually shows up one way or another. So here's what I want to know. Where do you stand? Do you think HOAs should have the power to control what you park in your own driveway, or did the court get it right? Ever had a run-in with your HOA or maybe a neighbor who took things too far? Drop your story or your opinion in the comments. Let's hear what you think, because everyone's got an opinion when it comes to HOA drama, and sometimes those debates are the best part of all.
Cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video.